What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Knicks Recap podcast. I'm your host, Troy, and you could be anywhere in the world this afternoon, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate that because Knicks Nation, chat gang, we have a lot to discuss. After all, last live stream, I was not doing too well after the trade had just happened. But clearly, after I've given it time to process it, a lot of details have come out. I feel a lot better about the trade, and I am looking forward to hearing exactly what Karl-Anthony Towns has to say about the trade, being a Knick, and how he felt about that entire situation. We're also going to be listening to Tom Thibodeau, what he had to say about the trade, and also what he felt about getting rid of or really trading Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. We never really hear that side of it, so I want to get to that information and understand what Tom Thibodeau feels about that. We're also going to hear from Knicks president Leon Rose. Now, of course, with him, he doesn't really do any media appearances, but he did give us some information as he released some statements about the Towns addition and some other moves that the Knicks have made. So we definitely want to get to that and make sure we get to all that information as well, too. We're going to look at a couple of videos, and we're also going to do the giveaway today. That's right. Somebody is going to be winning that XL Knicks jacket right from our channel member, Tony Riviera, who will be joining me exclusively on the channel a little bit later on the show when we get to all that information. So I can't wait to get started, guys. So without any further ado, the first topic today, as you guys see in the thumbnail, is Karl-Anthony Towns, the newest Knick, finally speaking out about the trade. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for. I dropped the video maybe about the day after the trade happened about Cat being blindsided by the deal. At the time, he was at the Timberwolves facility. He was working out. He was training. He had no idea he was going to be traded. He never asked for a trade in his entire time with Minnesota. So when he was traded, everybody said at the time he was blindsided by the move, and he was shocked. And then in his recent comments, which we're about to get to and listen to together, he confirmed when he first heard about the trade, he was shocked. So today, we're going to break down exactly what Cat has to talk about regarding this trade and joining the New York Knicks. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do me the biggest favor that you can. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're smashing the like button. And of course, guys, I would always love if you guys continue to show support to this channel. And if you can, share this video with each and every person watching, because that's exactly what I'm hoping to get out of the stream, so everybody can see exactly what Karl-Anthony Towns has to say about this team. Without further ado, let's get to the live video and see exactly what we're going to have to see from Karl-Anthony Towns and what he said about joining the Knicks. Let's keep it going here. 1 second, guys. I'm going to get to my headphones here and put that video on for you. Let's get started. And by the way, guys, as I play this video, you're going to see me start it, stop it, start it again, because you have to break down some of the information. So we're going to get to all of those parts, but don't worry, we're going to listen to it all. So bear with me here as we listen to newest Knick, Karl-Anthony Towns. And again, for me, guys, this is the best part of the job, listening to the newest Knicks. Let's keep it going.
Hey, Knicks fans, let's get to work. See you at the Garden.
I'm excited to be playing here and I'm excited to start.
What was your reaction when you heard the news you were coming to New York?
Shocked. Shocked. More the word flabbergasted would be more correct, but just shocked.
You allowed yourself to, talk to your new teammates and just get excited about what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I did, I walked up to Jalen and I introduced myself, told him my name was Karl. I know it was a struggle for him, so I just wanted to let him know who I was and introduce myself to Cat, so it was fine.
Right there, just going to stop it real quick. As you can see, he basically admitted on live when he was with the media, he was shocked by the trade. I'm happy he said that. He could have ran away from it. He could have not acknowledged it. But what did he do? He said it exactly. He was shocked by the trade. Flabbergasted was his word. He didn't expect it. But you know what? He's happy to be here. He's happy to be in New York. And you can already see it, even though he's still processing it, because Cat's a guy with emotion. We all know that. It takes him time to process all of these type of moves. He's still processing the trade, but it's clear he wants to be a Knick But of course, you're going to be shocked by it. You played your whole career in Minnesota. They didn't tell you were going to be traded, and then you are traded when you have commitments to do Timberwolves media, when you have to do Timberwolves press, and even when you're in a training camp facility for the Timberwolves. It is what it is sometimes. This lets you know it is a business. You could give your entire career to an organization, but it doesn't always mean they're going to keep you. It is something to consider, though. Let's keep it going here with Towns and the other questions he answered here.
Does it help that you have a relationship with Tibbs before you know sort of what he expects? Does that help you sort of acclimate here?
I think it gives us a little bit of a head start. I know the offense that he runs. I know the way he likes to play defense, and I know how what he expects from his players. So I just think it gives us a little bit of a head start.
There's rumors of you coming to the Knicks have been going on for years. Did you ever think this was a possibility at some point?
I just focused on basketball. I focused on playing basketball and just let all the outside noise be that outside noise. So just stay focused on the job at hand. Whatever happened.
So just stopping it right there again. As you can see with Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, he's answering the media, you can tell, but he is locked in and focused. He wants to get back to work. All he's thinking about is the work. And when he's being asked all these questions by the reporters, the only thing in his mind right now is being the best impactful cat for his team. And if you notice, when he's answering these questions about potentially playing with Jalen Brunson, he always says it's about the work, putting in the work, and seeing what that work gives them. The relationship with him and Tom Thibodeau is important. You heard him acknowledge it. It gives them a head start from where they are, given the chemistry that they have. But they've been apart for a while. And when we get to Tom Thibodeau's comments, he's going to say as well, too, even though he knew Cat, he doesn't really know Cat anymore. He has to relearn everything about his game, where he is now, and all that development. And he even admitted it's going to be a learning curve. And I think Towns would agree with that as well, too. So very good comments from Towns here. Very good comments from Cat. I love what we're hearing here. Let's keep it going.
Potentially this group, I mean, it's you, OG, Mikhail, Jalen, the length, the spacing. When you think about what you guys have,
I mean, like you said, we got great players, and we continue to put the work in day out. And be the best versions of ourselves we can be every single day. We do a lot of things.
Paul, is there a message from you to the fans about obviously you coming in here, expectations, and what you plan to bring?
I mean, we just going to continue to work hard every single day. Never take one practice for granted, and just try to every night go out there and be the best version of ourselves.
You made the Western Conference Finals last year. I mean, what did you learn from that experience that you can bring to this team?
I think most importantly, to get to a position like that, it starts now. It's not during the season. It's not.
Love that.
You start to turn it up in the second half of the season after the All-Star break. It starts now. You got to put the work in now. You got to get your body, your mind prepared to play basketball that deep into the season. So just staying focused, working on our discipline, working on our habits. I'm just here to amplify everybody as much as possible.
What did you learn?
So right there, Karl-Anthony Towns, man, listen, we could feel whatever way we want to feel about him. Obviously, I felt the way about him for years, but he's a Knick now. I'm not saying I forgive and forget. I remember. And if it comes back up again where I need to bring it up, I will. But I'm taking everything moving forward as it's moving forward. I'm not going to kill Karl-Anthony Towns because I didn't like him before. He's a Knick now. I'm never going to not root for him. I root for my team. He's part of the team. I'm going to root for him. And listen to what he said there. That type of mentality of getting all the way to the NBA Finals, or at least wanting to get there, it doesn't start, during the season. It doesn't start at the middle of the season after All-Star break. The mindset has to be instilled before you even step on the court. You love that. You love to hear that, because these are the comments you want to hear from somebody coming to the court, coming to the floor who's new. He's not saying, oh yeah, this is my city. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Nope. I'm going to put in the work. I know the work is needed right now. And what I'm trying to do is get acclimated, with my teammates so I can amplify my addition to this team, what I mean to this team. Towns is not shying away from anything here. If anything, he's being quite honest. And I take that honesty really, really sincerely, because a lot of people wouldn't have to do this in this situation, but he's doing that. I think that's a good choice to make, especially the fact he's in New York, and New Yorkers can smell that BS from a mile away. Keeping it 100%, it's the way to do it.
That you can apply now to this team.
just habits. You know, it's hard to say what I learned from Tibbs then, because when I was with Tibbs, I learned a lot, and he helped me in my career forward. So just building great habits, staying disciplined, putting work in, something that I think all y'all know he's all about. So just continuing to take that approach every single day.
You've had time to play at the Garden. Now you come in and it's going to be your home. Have you thought about that?
I mean, it's our home. It's not my home, it's our home. These guys have done something special there last year. JB's been building something special. So this is our home. I just here to, like I said, amplify Tom and be the best team there could be. Without
Right there, man. I'm sorry. Come on, man. This is not my home. This is not your home. It's our home. It's our house. We're part of the city together. Listen, hate or love, you can't really do better in an opening statement when your first time talking to the media than Towns is doing right now. Open, honest, heart on his sleeve, telling it exactly what it is. You can tell he's not completely happy. He's still processing the trade. He's looking down a lot. You can clearly see he's thinking about a lot. It's a lot to process. So the fact that he's even doing this and giving us these answers, it means a lot to me. It really, really does. He didn't have to do any of this. He's honest with his answers. You can tell that they matter. He's just not saying it to say things. Say what you want to say about Towns. I've said it enough. But giving him credit where credit is due, he deserves his credit right here. This is phenomenal.
Up too many details. What was that first combo with Tibbs like after the trade? And you mentioned that you guys have stayed in contact over the years. I guess how would you describe how the relationship is? Not that it was bad before, but then how it's grown since you guys haven't been together.
I think over time, you just learn a lot about each other and mature, and obviously our relationship has been good. I think that for us, we just want to win. I think none of y'all ever doubt about Tibbs putting the work in and wanting to win. So our conversation is all about winning and doing the best we can do every single day.
Karl, have you given thought to, a lot of the conversations before the trade became official with Jalen, with Josh Hart, was this has the potential to really change the way we play offense. How do you fit here? How do you change the look of this offense?
If anybody's not hearing him, he's asking Karl-Anthony Towns, how can his addition to the team change the outlook of this offense?
I'm just going to be the best version of myself. And like I said, just continue to amplify my teammates and be the best teammate I could be on and off the court. So for me, just going out there and being the best version of myself and being the best teammate I could be, whether that be on and off the court. So I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to help if Paul needed.
How have you thought about that pick and roll combo with Jalen and what that might look like?
Asking about the pick and roll combination between him and Jalen Brunson, which in my opinion is going to be the most deadly combination in the NBA. Try stopping Cat and JB. They are lethal. Lethal. Good luck.
Got to put the work in every single day. But, he's an incredibly talented player. I think everyone knows that. So to be able to work with him in those situations is going to be fun.
Jalen's talked about knowing guys, so he's definitely on everybody Tibbs. For you coming here when you guys train and stuff, but knowing Tibbs, knowing Leon, does that help you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's some familiarity, but obviously there's a lot of things that is not familiar. Being traded, not being in Minnesota is obviously a different situation for me. So, like I said, I'm just worrying about being the best player I could be, being the best teammate I could be, doing everything I can to amplify my teammates is what I'm focused on right now.
What's it like when they show the commitment to you and how much they want it? How did that make you feel?
I mean, I'm honored.
The question he's asking her right now is, how did you feel that the Knicks wanted him so badly? And clearly he said he's honored.
Just honored to be looked on like that. And, I'm excited mostly just to get to work.
You always had a soft spot for the Knicks. I guess it goes back to your dad.
Yeah, I mean, I think recently I've talked about it. Just my dad, my mom immigrating over here from DR. Madison Square Garden to her was the Mecca. And to our family, it's always been the Mecca. So to be able to, in a way, being
Definitely emotional.
That she had that was so revered by her. Obviously, it strikes a different emotion. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you.
All right, there's more to this video actually because I added some more elements to it. We're gonna get to it, but clearly you can see he's very emotional there, talking about his mom. Everybody knew with Cat and his mother the relationship that he had, and his mom loved and wanted him to play at MSG. And I think he knows that. He acknowledged that, and I think that also is something that he's processing as well too, because he understands it. This means a lot to him, but it would probably mean more if he had his mom. And I think a lot of these things are important to him. I don't know if he'll ever express the gratitude he feels about what this city means to him, what that building means to him. But I think you can see it in the emotion that he's giving us here. Hard to talk about because it's special. It matters to him. Very close connection he shares to it. So I think that part of it rings true. And if you have a connection to someplace, it's special to you, and you feel like this is the place for you, I think we saw with Jalen Brunson, haven't we? What does that look like? Imagine if Cat can do that. Is it really impossible to feel that? I don't think so. Let's keep it going. We have more to this video. We're going to see some Cat highlights here. Big man shooting the three. Can't wait to see that pick and roll. It's going to look beautiful. Looks very good actually already. Good form already. We already know for Cat. Very good. No complaints with the shot. I don't know about you guys, but looks just as clean. Goes back a little bit. First look right there with him and Thibs. Happy. I mean, that's great to see. Hey, look at that. Oh, man, I'm getting hype already. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's play basketball. It's amazing, man. Check this out, guys. This guy gets caught who's recording it. Watch at the end. They catch him. They catch him recording him as they're recording together. Thibs spots it first, and then Towns is like, it was the funniest thing. But as you can clearly see, Towns is happy to be a Knick. You may not be able to see it fully based on his body language, but a lot of that doesn't have to do with that he hates New York. He's sad. He's sad that he's not part of an organization that he spent his entire career with. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't like the Knicks. He's unhappy with the trade. There's a lot of reasons for him to love New York, for him to love the Knicks. One of the main reasons is that pick and roll with him and Jalen Brunson. One of the things that I was concerned about, and I mentioned this during the live stream when we talked about it for Karl-Anthony Towns, is how the Knicks were going to utilize him on defense. I'm not ever worried about Karl-Anthony Towns in the post per se, especially if he's on offense. If he's, pulling up in the post, or he's, at three-point line, or he's making sure that other people are open by pulling a couple defenders at the top of the key, I don't mind Towns playing like that. The only issue I have is when you switch Towns on defense, where do you put him? Because if he's on defense at the 4, it might be a little bit easier for him. But if he's at the 5, I feel like it's going to be more difficult. I'm not saying he's injury prone, but we do have to take into account the fact that he's had a lot of lower leg injuries. So the way Tom Thibodeau may want his centers to play defense, that might not work for a player like Karl-Anthony Towns. It's not a huge thing against the Knicks right now. They can still address it if they have somebody to pair with Towns in the starting unit, or maybe do it at some points in time during the game. I don't like this. Just listen to me because of size. I'm not saying I like it, but potentially, maybe there are times during the game where it does make sense to have a Cat and Sims duo out there for the front court. Because if you have that, then maybe Sims can shore down the blocks, the rebounds, all of that. And then you have Towns that can kind of float and do whatever he wants to do. And if he wants to help with defense, he can do that, grab those additional rebounds, whatever he wants to do. But at least he's more open to play his game. My worry is that if you play Towns at the 5, a place where he's not that comfortable playing anyways, especially given all the injuries, I don't know if that's a successful move for the Knicks. He can play it. I'm not saying he can't. He can be successful there. But at this stage of the game, we saw it during the Western Conference when he was there with the Timberwolves. When he was playing with them, a lot of times he would settle for the 3. It's not a knock toward him. I would say this about anybody. I just hope now with Tom Thibodeau, Thibodeau puts him in more positions to thrive in the paint because he's a phenomenal paint player when he's in there and can shoot above players. He's taller than most anybody in there, so he can shoot above nearly anybody. And normally, if he's going at the top of the key driving in, defenders are going to attach themselves to him. So if he wants to create additional passing and become a better playmaker, which I think is in his arsenal, all he has to do is drive and kick it out. Essentially what Brunson is doing. And he's done that in the past before. He's been able to create like that. So it's not like it's new to him. I think Tom Thibodeau can bring that back for him. He might be able to give us a Cat that might be a better playmaker than we've ever seen before. And if Cat is able to add that element to his game, I think we're right back to where we were. We should be just as excited because that's what we need, another playmaker. If your all-star, your other all-star in this case, and Karl-Anthony Towns can become that for you, that's amazing. That's what I would want. I think that's what a lot of people want to see. Karl-Anthony Towns playing positions where he can succeed in. Tom Thibodeau is going to be the factor there. And for me, that's what I'm looking at. Preseason, I don't know what we're going to see in terms of lineups. I hope we get to see a little bit of the JB and Cat pick and roll, but it's going to tell me exactly what Tom Thibodeau is going to do for next season. A lot of the moves, the experiments he does during preseason, you likely will see some of that during the regular season because for him, that's his practice. And he's always said it. Practice is in the work, isn't it? So that's his practice. We're going to see what the work gives us, but we're going to see that on Sunday. And I believe 5 to 5:30, that is going to be the game against the Charlotte Hornets, the first preseason game for the Knicks. I am so excited and hyped for it. Can't wait to get started for that. But we're not done yet. We have some other comments to talk about. Those other comments are from head coach Tom Thibodeau. Let's pull up those comments, see what he has to say about Cat, this trade, and of course, losing Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Let's pull that up really quickly. Just give me 1 second, guys, to pull that up. Hope you guys can bear with me here. Let's first hear his thoughts on the Cat trade. I think that's probably the most important that people want to hear about anyway. So let's do that.
Relationship through the years, and so it's always good to see him, and it's great to have him on our team. So it was a few days where everyone was chomping at the bit to get started, but that's part of our league, and you have to go through different things, but it's great to have him out there with his teammates.
Does it help you a little that you have a knowledge of how, so you don't have to learn about the game and how he's effective?
Yeah, I think there is, there's some benefit, to having coached him before and know who he is as a person, but also to understand that, that was more than 5 years ago, so he's in a different place, he's a different player. And so there's going to be a learning curve, and we have to adjust quickly.
Love the commentary from Tom Thibodeau there. Learning curve, we're going to have to adjust quickly. He's already admitted it. Karl-Anthony Towns was a good player when he was coaching him, but he's a different player, a better player, but different. But when you're better, your game is evolved and you're different. Just because I knew you 10 years ago doesn't mean I know you anymore. I have to understand who you are, understand your game, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what positions you can thrive in, what lineups you can thrive in. That's what Tom Thibodeau's mind is racing around right now. The schemes he's going to put him in, what defense is going to give to him, what the opposing side's going to allow them to do now that they have Karl-Anthony Towns. Maybe a lot of people were talking about it, given the fact that we can play 5 out now. Maybe the Knicks do implement a little bit more zone into the lineup, into the offense. Now, that is something that Tom Thibodeau has refrained a little bit from doing, but maybe that's because he hasn't had the personnel. Maybe now he could run a little bit more. I'm not saying do it all the time, but you have the option now with Cat to go to that. Cat gives you options for so many things to run. So Tom Thibodeau saying that he has to have a learning curve to understand everything that Cat gives you. So that way you can kind of create a better offense that fits him. I like that. It shows his adaptability. We knew that was the case even before the season started when he said he wanted to play some players at the 5 who normally weren't 5s. Basically going small. I think he's still going to do that because the roster demands it. Karl-Anthony Towns will not be your 5 for significant minutes. I know he can play 5, just like Randall could play 5, just like OG could play 5, but it doesn't mean they're going to play 5 for significant minutes. I think Tom Thibodeau does like the depth he has on this team. He obviously wants to add more players, but the fact that he understands that Towns is not the same player anymore, and he's acknowledged that and acknowledged the fact that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, I think that's why we like Tom Thibodeau. Because even though it looks or it sounds like it should be easy, you guys played together already. There's chemistry there, yada, yada, yada. It should be easy. But he makes you understand that nothing is easy. Nothing. You have to work for it. Even Towns said that. It's not going to be easy. It gives us a start, but it doesn't do anything because the start only matters if you use it to get a head start on the work you already need to do. It's not like we came into training camp with no work. We needed to build that chemistry. Now it's in overdrive because we're making room for two major pieces in Cat and Mikal. That's something to think about. He also talked about Donte DiVincenzo and Julius Randle and losing them. I want to pull that up as well, too. It's a very good conversation from Tom Thibodeau there. And he did mention a couple of things about the trade that I think a lot of people would like to hear some information on because it does show you what Tom Thibodeau, at least in the back of his mind, felt about the entire trade and just overall his thoughts. So let's hear about it.
And Donte added a lot to our team. Whenever we had a need, obviously, at the center position. So
That's why.
That was really the driving force behind it. And so, but we certainly appreciated everything both of those guys did for us. It's a tough decision to make, but we felt it was one that we had to make. And now we're excited to have Cat. I think to be able to get a player of his stature was huge, but you don't get a player like that without giving good players up. And so that's what we had to do, but we're excited about the team that we have.
As you can clearly see there with Karl-Anthony Towns, the whole thing, Tom Thibodeau knows that in order to get good players, you have to give good players up. That's what they did. They needed a center, and clearly the center position was their main worry, their main concern. And so happens to be that that's my main concern for the Knicks is their center position. And I have been creating many videos stating the fact that that's where the Knicks' concerns were. And you could clearly see that given all the trade targets that are linked to them. And now you have Tom Thibodeau that has just acknowledged everything that has been reported over the offseason. The Knicks have concerns at the center position, and that's why they made the moves that they made. So I don't want to hear about, well, it was this reason or it was that reason. There's probably a multitude of reasons, but one of them was because Mitchell Robinson is out till 2025. Who knows what the Knicks do if that's not the case? Who knows what the Knicks do if Isaiah Hartenstein's still on this team? In my opinion, if Hart's still on this team, Cat's not on this team. We keep the same team we had. But with all the changes, all the moves, the lack of availability with some players that we believe to be available, what else were the Knicks going to do? They had to make a move. They obviously had some other information inside, knowing the fact that Julius Randle likely was not going to sign long-term. Again, some of those things matter, and I think when you're moving on from a good player, like Tom Thibodeau says, you have to give up good players. Knicks didn't want to give up Donte DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo didn't want to leave. But the only way you were going to land Cat is if you added DiVincenzo, and obviously the first-round pick as well, too, because without those two pieces added to the Julius Randle part, we were not getting Karl-Anthony Towns. So it's amazing that the Knicks needed those two assets to pull off this trade because it's really the only asset that we had to really give away. And Donte, I never considered an asset because I always thought he was part of the future. So I'm still a little bit upset with that, but nothing you can do at this point. You have to move forward here. And, this is where we are right now. I do want to pull up something that Steph Bondy from the New York Post did report about Tom Thibodeau and his thoughts about Karl-Anthony Towns. Because as you heard there, the Knicks had no choice. They needed to trade for Cat, and they're excited to have Cat. But what about Thibs? He said they are excited. Is he part of that? Is he excited? Because you got to remember, they had issues in the past. I know they fixed the issues, but does that mean there's nothing there? Are they truly, really happy? We saw them smiling in some of the clips that we saw earlier on today. So maybe that's the case. Well, according to Steph Bondy of the New York Post, he gave us the following information here. He said, a source said Thibodeau was fully behind acquiring Towns, who arrived in a swap for Julius Randle, Donte DiVincenzo, and a protected first-round pick and 2 future second-round picks. Together in Minnesota, Thibodeau and Towns maxed out with the first-round playoff exit. But here's the thing. Both of those guys now are different. Tom Thibodeau is different. He adapts more. Karl-Anthony Towns, way different player. And the fact that I know that Tom Thibodeau was okay with the trade, was behind the trade, and wanted Karl-Anthony Towns on this team again, no worries for me about that duo, that relationship, what's going to happen there. Should we be worried about it? Anything like that. I have no concerns about it because Tom Thibodeau, Steph Bondy, these insiders, just quell them. We don't need to worry. All we need to do is exactly what Cat is talking about. Put in the work. That's all it is. We just need to continue to put in the work, gain that chemistry together, and then see what it looks like out there. That's the last step that the Knicks need to meet here before they move on to get to these other places here. Because without moving to that next direction, without taking that next step with this roster, some people are going to consider it a failure given everything you gave up. That's why you have to be locked in and focused, because you have to show it to everybody and prove it to everybody every single night that the Knicks are legit. We're a real team, and you have to fear us not only in the East, but in the entire NBA. This is not a game. This is not a joke. We are here to win a championship. That's our goal. We're serious. We are always serious, but this year is our championship window. We're going to maximize that best you believe. And with all the talent we've added and the other moves, yes, other moves that we will be making, our roster is going to continue to get better and better and better. But another person I want to hear from, somebody else that I want to hear their thoughts from regarding this trade, is the person that basically did it all. Leon Rose, the president of the Knicks basketball operations, and he's done a great job. Obviously, you can critique some moves here, some moves there, but overall, he's done way more good than bad for this organization. Let's listen. Let's not listen. Let's take a look at exactly what Leon Rose had to say about the Knicks acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns in that mega trade. Shout out to the Knicks for giving us this information. As you can see there, they gave us some great graphics. Welcome to New York, Karl-Anthony Towns. And then we see Leon Rose's statement here about Towns. We are beyond excited to welcome Karl-Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks family. Towns brings a skill set that is unique to the game of basketball. He possesses a blend of playmaking, shooting, rebounding, and defending that in combination with his size allows him to compete at a level that is rare in this league. Karl-Anthony Towns has demonstrated throughout his entire career to be a high-caliber player and person on and off the court who will complement the type of team and culture we continue to build in New York. I think I can say it for everybody here, but if you don't want to say it, I'll say it for you anyways. Leon Rose for Executive of the Year turned this Knicks franchise from laughingstock into contender in about 4 years. And every time he made a move, initially, he was judged by it. Or why did you do that? Why did you give him that contract? Why did you make all of these moves just to get these players? Let's see here. Take the one, calculate that, subtract that. He did it because we're championship contenders. I may have not seen it early. A lot of us may have not seen it early. It's okay. We see it now. We see it now, don't we? We see the vision now, don't we? We see what Leon Rose was doing, don't we? He was building, slowly but surely, a championship contender in New York. While everybody thought the Knicks weren't doing anything, Leon Rose knew better. And now he's given us the roster to compete for a chip for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe longer, depending on what the Knicks do with the contract situations on this team moving forward. But they've given themselves a very good window to achieve a championship now. All we need is the pieces to work together. And we still have other moves to make. The roster's not, quote unquote, finalized yet. And I think Leon Rose is working right now. The player he's trying to move is no secret. Done a number of videos on him already. Mitchell Robinson. Reports already came out that the Knicks want to move Mitchell Robinson. They want to trade him. They have made him available for trade talks. A lot of teams have been calling. Pelicans have been one of them. The Lakers, another. Who knows where the trade talks are right now? But that's what's going to happen. If you're wondering what the next move is going to be, spoiler alert, it's Mitch being moved to another team so we get an impactful center on this roster. You may not like it, but that's exactly what it is. We're going to continue here because Leon Rose is not done. He made some comments about Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, them leaving and their impact to this team. Specifically, though, he focused on Julius Randle here. According to Leon Rose, I want to sincerely thank Julius for his contributions to both the Knicks organization and our community. An all-star, an all-NBA player. Julius worked tirelessly day in and day out to represent the Knicks organization with grit, grace, and tremendous skill. Julius played a major role in establishing the foundation and culture of our team when we cannot thank Julius Randle enough for everything he did for the city and organization. Once again, both on and off the court. That's great and all. Definitely no hate to Julius Randle. I appreciate everything Randle did for this organization and this city when he was part of this team. But as you can see there in the graphic on the right-hand corner, and if you want to know who made that graphic, you're welcome. Leon Rose, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. That was his offseason. Sprinkling a couple of other contracts, a couple of other moves. Leon Rose, cooked all off season long. He just cooked all off season long. He made move after move after move. He made a move when training camp was about to start. Nobody expected that. For Cat, nobody expected that. For Mikal, nobody expected that. For OG, nobody expected that. Nobody expected us to be championship contenders either. I guess that means don't believe the expectations. Believe what you see. Believe what you watch. And believe what this team is going to show you when they dominate the competition all next season. And the start of this massacre, it starts this Sunday, preseason, against the Hornets. Our bench is going to show out. Wait for some important games from Tyler Kolek, important games for Pacome Dadier, important games from Miles McBride, because I believe he's going to go off, and everybody else in between. And somebody else I'm hoping for a lot from, Jericho Sims. I heard he added a hook shot to his game. I want to see the hook shot live and in person. So hopefully we are greeted to all of that come this Sunday. It's going to be a great time. But before we go on to all the other topics that we have today, I got to check with the chat gang. I got to see what you guys are doing. You guys are going off lately. So I got to check in with you guys. Let's see what you guys have to say. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. We got 718 Fresh. Traded Randle because Dolan made Leon fold. I don't know if we traded Randle for that. I honestly think that the reason Randle was included in that deal was because we had some inside information knowing he was not going to be part of the Knicks for the long term. And since that's the case, I mean, what do you want him to do? Want him to have a career year, leaving free agency, and the Knicks get nothing? You have to make a move. Keith Turner says, championships ain't won on paper. Got to see it on court. You're absolutely right. That's why I love what I see. I love what I hear. I love all of the things that we're seeing potentially building on and off the court during practice. But until we see it live in action, there's going to be some questions. Fair questions, but still questions. So I agree with you, Keith. No problem with that. E. Gibson says, we gave up a lot in acquiring Bridges and Cat. Last 4 years, our peak has been a second-round exit. That's true, which means our peak at this year needs to be the NBA Finals. We need to get there. We've given up so much. We've created the roster that we've created. I think it's time to jump all the way to the NBA Finals, but we can't jump until we mow everybody through. That includes the reigning defending champions, the Boston Celtics. They're not going to be light work at all. They're just as good as they were last year. This year, the Knicks may be better, but we're better because our team could not really go up toe-to-toe with the Boston Celtics. I'm not saying we couldn't give them a good competitive series. We could have, especially if we were healthy. But the verdict is a little bit out whether we would have won that series or not. With the current 5 players we have on this team and the bench we're continuing to build out, I think we're going to have a case that we could potentially be the only team, one of the only teams that's constructed in a way to take down the Boston Celtics. We may be their nightmare matchup. And if that's the case, they don't want to see us come to ECF. Let's keep it going here. Carl says, would you trade Mitch for Steven Adams and another player? I might, considering who that other player would be, but I know that Steven Adams is not going to be traded. At least that's the reports that I've been hearing. All the consistent reports that have been coming out have been that they like what they have in Adams. They like what they have with their depth, and they're not looking to move him. Could things change? Of course they could. With Mitchell Robinson right now, we have to remember Steven Adams is coming off of an injury as well, too. It's not like he's clean. He might be more available now than Mitch is, but it doesn't mean that he can go away with injury as well, too. He could come back, have another injury happen to him. It's possible. So I don't mind that deal. I would need to see who the other player is, but it would be something I could consider depending on if it's actually available and who that other player is. No problem with it, though. Like I said, for me, it's beyond time. We've moved on from Mitchell Robinson. So me moving on from him now, I have no problem with that. AP says, shout out to Patrick Ewing. That's good news. I was going to get to it later on in the show, but man, you beat me to it. Let's just get to it right now. Anybody didn't know? 33, Patrick Ewing, he is back for the Knicks. Let's break down this latest report. Shout out to AP for just announcing it a little bit earlier than I was going to do in the show. But as you can see here, welcome back, 33. Knicks legend Patrick Ewing will rejoin the franchise as a basketball ambassador. And he gave us the following quote while he joined the Knicks. According to Ewing, as I said day one, my number 33 jersey lifted into the rafters at MSG. I will always be a Knick and I will always be a New Yorker. And I can't wait to get started with this new position and to officially be back with the organization that I love so much. The Garden has always been my home, and I'm looking forward to working with Leon Rose, Coach Tom Thibodeau, the team, and everyone else that makes this place so special. Shout out to Patrick Ewing. From one captain to another, I know that Jalen Brunson is extremely happy to have Ewing here. Can you imagine what Ewing's presence going to mean during practice for all of our bigs? Karl-Anthony Towns, Precious Achiuwa, Jericho Sims. You don't think they're all going to benefit from having a player like that at practice? I don't care what his role is. What do you say his role is? Basketball advisor? Is that his role? Let's go back to it. Basketball ambassador. Either way, advisor, ambassador, whatever. He's part of the Knicks. He's back with the Knicks organization, in my opinion, back where he belongs. And even though he's going to have that role, that means he's still going to be involved in some talks. Still going to be there during practice. Still can talk to this younger generation, work with them and everything like that. And that's everything that we needed. That little piece of information, that little piece of advice, nobody else on that team, nobody else in the organization could give it the way that Ewing can. He's done it before. He's been there before. He's a legend. Everybody looks up to him. And the little piece of advice that he gives you and the way he gives you it, the way he delivers it, might just be the key to unlocking one of our younger guys. Maybe it's the key to unlocking Jericho Sims. All I'm saying is this move by the Knicks just goes to show you what a phenomenal job Leon Rose and this Knicks front office has done. He's not only making sure the Knicks are happy, the front office is happy, the books are happy, the fans are happy, but he's making sure everybody who rocked with this team in the 90s, the 80s, way before then, are being rewarded for watching this team now. Because every time you watch this team, at some point in time, cameras are going to be following them. Who are you going to see with them? Oh, I don't know. Knick legend Patrick Ewing? Yeah, that feels good. If anything, it feels amazing. It's just been a really, really great day in terms of news because we find out more information about the trade. It makes you feel good. And then we find out that one of the greatest Knicks of all time is coming back to the Garden to join us as a basketball ambassador. Whatever that means, I don't care. All I care about is that this man is back where he belongs. And if you don't believe that, I don't care because I believe it. He always belonged in this organization. He always needed some type of role here. It was a shame that we were never able to give him anything until now. Credit where credit is due. Leon, thank you. Thank you so much. Back to the chat, gang. We have Alex Soto with a super chat, $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, Alex. Thank you. My guy says, great platform, my bro. Keep up the great job. Looking forward to the new season. It should be exciting. Let's go, Knicks. Hey, thank you, my guy. Appreciate you being part of this platform. Thank you for finding us. It's going to be a great season. I am so extremely hyped. Let us go. Into the season we go, and where we stop, I know, championship. That's where we're headed. We have the roster to do it, the coach to do it, the belief to do it, the buy-in to do it. Everybody understands where we need to go. We're going to get there. Mark my words on that. Thanks for the super chat, my guy. I really appreciate that. AP says, I still have my Patrick Ewing jersey from 1995, 30 years ago. My guy, shout out to you, AP. That is legendary. Since 95, that's a collector's edition. You better protect that and keep it protected for your life because that matters. It means something. And I respect all Knick fans. 30-year Knick fans, 15-year Knick fans. I became a Knick fan a day ago. Welcome aboard. We're about to win a championship. Come along. But if you hated on us in the past, it's a different story there. If you're like 11 or 12 and you just got introduced to the Knicks, I forgive you. There's levels to this. A couple more comments, and then we're going to go back to the other topics that we have to go to today. Other topics, including Tom Thibodeau and that guard rotation. I know everybody wants to know, besides Brunson, who is playing behind them. We're going to answer that question soon. A couple more comments here. JJ says, KG left the Wolves and got a ring. Love left the Wolves and got a ring. And Cat left and will get a ring. I mean, I agree with that. I'm behind that. I back that. I want that. I want the Knicks to go out there and get a ring. That's a very good point, my friend. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Montez says, Sixers fan here. I just want to say I can't wait to play the Knicks. Embiid doesn't have to work as hard this season. Maxey and George is going to cook along with all the new piece. Sixers and Knicks are a must. Hey, listen, first of all, I appreciate all other fan bases coming to the live stream. Even if you don't love the Knicks, you love your team. As long as you're respectful, I have no problem with that. That being said, I don't worry about the Sixers at all, my friend, because I am more worried about your team because of I'm more worried about your team because of the potential injury factor there. I'm not wishing it, but Paul George and Joel Embiid, you got to admit it. The fact that they're there, anything could happen. They could be injured at some point in time, miss games at some point in time. We've seen it happen year after year. Again, any injuries happen to the Sixers, your season is over. So I understand the want to see the Knicks versus Sixers. I definitely think we need to see it again, and we will. But I'm not too worried about the Sixers in the East. I'm more worried about some other teams, honestly. The Bucks might be a more scary team because a lot of people are sleeping on the Bucks. Nobody's even talking about the Bucks right now. I'm not saying Philly can't put it together. They might be able to. But if you're asking me, teams I fear for next season, it's not the 76ers. The 76ers are going to have to prove it to me that I have to fear them. Because after last year, after everything I saw, after the additions, I'm not too impressed. If Maxey takes a leap, if Embiid's healthy, maybe. A lot to prove there, though, in my opinion. Let's see. One more, and then we're going to the rest of the topics for the day, which is going to be the guard rotation behind Brunson. Let's see. Hugo says, I can't wait to wear my new Knicks jacket in Georgia. So many New York haters out here. Hey, man, listen, if everybody doesn't know, we're going to be doing a giveaway very soon. As everybody doesn't know, special thanks to my guy, Tony Riviera. He will be a special guest on the show, I believe, later on today to help us give away this great jacket. Again, big shout out to him. If you see him in the comments or anywhere, give him some love, give him some credit, give him some shout outs. He'll be helping me give away this jacket today. It is his jacket, XL New York Knicks jacket. We will be giving that away, I believe, a little bit later in the show, either around 1:30 to 2 o'clock. I'll let you guys know around the time. We'll be announcing the winner, taking your questions and chopping it up about the Knicks. So a lot of things to come. Do not worry about that. But let's see here. Last comment here. Amid Nesbitt, let's see. Any chance in how we can acquire Trey Murphy III? Very, very good question. We'll end the live chat portion for now right here with that question, and we'll move on again to the live chat a little bit later on into the end of the show. But going back to what Nesbitt was saying here regarding Trey Murphy III, I dropped the video on this. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out that video about Trey Murphy III. There have been reports out there from NBA Insider with Sports Illustrated. I believe his name was Jacobo Reynolds, and he dropped an article on the medium.com suggesting that the Pelicans were the team pushing the hardest to land Mitchell Robinson. And the trade talks apparently were surrounded around Trey Murphy and Mitchell Robinson. Now, at the time, I didn't put it together, or I didn't really know it at the time, but did you guys know that Trey Murphy is injured? Now, he's not injured for as long as Robinson is. I think he's supposed to miss the next 3 or 4 weeks, but he is injured. I forget the exact injury Trey Murphy has. But if you factor that in with the fact that Mitchell Robinson is set to miss significant time, and maybe they feel like if they're going to miss time anyways, they may want to make a trade. Now you understand what the report actually is. That's what the report basically says. Excuse me. That's what the report basically states. The report states that the Pelicans are okay with trading Trey Murphy in a deal for Mitchell Robinson. Now, we don't know if that's the exact deal. Maybe the Knicks are going to have to include something else because Murphy is that valuable and they want more pieces for him. Now, I'm not saying the Knicks have to include more. Clearly, with the contracts, the Knicks do not need to include more. But if you want a player like that off the Pelicans, who I thought last coveted Murphy and thought he was a rising star in their roster, so I don't know why they would be open to trading him. Maybe the injury, maybe something else, maybe Herb Jones and his development. Again, I'm not sure. There's a lot of factors here, but the report was suggesting that the Knicks could go after him. I would not mind that trade at all. Even if he's injured, I'm still going after Murphy. First of all, he's not injured for that long. He's still going to come back well before Mitchell Robinson will. And he's younger. He's 6'8", defensive-minded. He would thrive under Tom Thibodeau, and he would get better as a Knick each and every year. So I would do this trade because you're not going to find another better trade on the market for a player like Murphy. If it's available, I would do it. But at least according to the reports, we haven't heard anything else come out about where those talks are now. If the Pelicans want to do anything else, if the Lakers are still involved, if another team has become involved now, those reports have not come out yet. But I would assume if Murphy is part of that deal and he's available and it's only going to cost you Robinson and maybe a couple of other players you don't care about, I think the Knicks make that move. If McBride is part of that deal, maybe they don't make that move. Or maybe they think real hard before making a move like that, because I think everybody understands it at this point. They very much value and covet Miles McBride. They don't want to just give him away. But to their credit, they're not going to just give him away if they get a player like a Kessler or a Durant or somebody else like that. Now, that's toward the trade deadline, not right now. If they're looking to move Mitch right now, maybe the only way you do that is to attach somebody else with value. And that's where McBride comes in. So before thinking about contracts, and if the math works, think about who needs to be in the deal so both parties accept the deal and say yes. Because if that's not on the table, forget about the money working. They need to accept the deal first. That's the part of it that we have to understand here. Is it possible? Sure. But as of right now, no further updates on where those talks stand. But if I'm the Knicks, I am pushing right now to get Trey Murphy on this team. You're talking about a fit. You're talking about a player under Tom Thibodeau that would thrive. I am taking him. I don't care if he's not a center. He's a forward that's 6'8". Precious Achiuwa is 6'8", and everybody is trying to tell me that he's a center. If he's a center, then Trey Murphy's a center too. That's it. That's all you have to tell me. But I appreciate the comment, Nesbitt. Appreciate all the reports that are coming out about potentially the Knicks going after players like Trey Murphy and maybe Christian Wood and Gabe Vincent out of the Lakers. All of these reports linked, obviously, to Mitchell Robinson and what's going to happen there. But you know what else has come to mind for me, besides the Mitchell Robinson situation, is the Knicks guard situation. I don't know about you guys, but we have a lot of guards, some vets, some rookies. And for me, I wanted to know with Tom Thibodeau and his guard situation. And according to reports, he's actually revealed his guard rotation and the bench he's going to utilize for next season. And this is exactly what I've been waiting for. Is he going to play the rookies behind Jalen Brunson? The vets behind Jalen Brunson? Has he figured that out yet? Has he seen enough in training camp to define what guards we're going to see behind Jalen? And we have. He's given us that information. But some of you guys are not going to like the guards he's chosen. Not because they're not good. It's just because they're probably not the guards you were hoping for. If you were hoping for rookies, you're about to be very disappointed. Shout out to Steph Bondi for giving us the following information. According to him, Tom Thibodeau has mentioned Cam Payne and Landry Shamet a few times in the first 2 days of training camp. No mention of Tyler Kolek. Just an observation. Just an observation. But then there's this report too. I'm not worried about our depth, says Tom Thibodeau. I actually like our bench a lot. If you look at the things that our guys have done, and I'm not exactly sure who it might be, but here are the names he's mentioned. Landry Shamet has been on the team that's been at a high level. Cam Payne has been on a team that's won at a high level. Deuce McBride has provided a lot for us over that time. Precious Achiuwa has been in a lot of big games for us. And then one of the starters is going to be there with them. So I feel that our bench is going to be a huge asset for us going into this season. A lot of information to pack in there. Let's start with the guard rotation first. Cam Payne and Landry Shamet. Now, mind you, Landry Shamet doesn't even have an official deal on this team yet. He's an exhibit contract at this point in time, training camp contract at this point in time. But clearly, he will be given a deal. Tom Thibodeau has raved about this man practice after practice after practice. Haven't heard a word about Kolek. Haven't heard a word about Pacome Dadier. I like the rookies. I have a lot of belief in the rookies. Those rookies are going to play in the G League. I'm just saying what it is. They're going to play in the G League. Will they play some minutes in the NBA? Sure. Garbage time exists, I'm sure. But Tom Thibodeau has already very much acknowledged Deuce, Precious, Cam, and Shamet. What do all of those guys have in common? They're not rookies. They played a lot, and they have experience in this league. That's the difference. You may want to see Kolek. You might want to see his passing. You might want to see how legendary it looks. Watch the G League. You're not going to see it during the regular season. The only time you see Kolek during the regular season is if something catastrophic happened. We had an injury, lost somebody, somebody's out for a significant period of time. That's when you probably see the rookies and garbage time. But you're not going to see them off the bench right away. After Brunson, it's either going to be Landry Shamet or Cam Payne. And you already know what they said. They can play a starter with the bench. I've heard from Tom Thibodeau that potentially he wants Jalen Brunson to play off ball more. If he's playing off ball, who's taking the point guard responsibilities? Cam Payne? I heard him say Mikal Bridges could be having some responsibilities at the point guard position, or at least creating, maybe not playing point guard, but at least creating for Jalen, who would be off ball. So that means he could be going into his bag for playmaking. Tom Thibodeau, right now with this roster, has so many options, so many things he can go to if he wants to go there. The only thing is, will he implement those lineups? Will he go there? I don't think we're going to see the rookies. You're going to see Cam Payne. You're going to see Landry Shamet. You're going to see Precious Achiuwa. And you're going to see Deuce McBride. I just gave you 4 people with an additional bench piece, with a starter that they're going to put in with those 4 players potentially. We don't know who that's going to be as well, too. And they can run different lineups depending on who they're playing. That's very important. Thibs said he likes their depth and he likes their bench. Show it to me then. Prove it to me. Prove you like your bench by playing them significant minutes throughout the season, because that's the major change that needs to happen. Take the starter minutes from 38 and reduce them to 32. Give the additional 5 minutes to all of your bench players. They play more minutes. They get more production. They're happy. Your starters are more rested. They're happy. And then we go into the postseason and your entire fan base is happy because you've given them a healthy team to root for. That's where we need to be right now. We're so close to getting there. We're working through training camp. We're making sure we're as fully healthy as possible when we start that first game against Boston, even starting that first game against the Hornets. We know we need to work on things. Tom Thibodeau has acknowledged that. But the guys you're going to see on this court, you're going to dislike the fact that they're not going to be rookies. I know a lot of people had some faith in Tyler Kolek, maybe in some Pacome Dadier minutes, given the fact that we don't really have a lot of depth at forward, and maybe you want to give the rookie a shot. If TJ Warren makes this roster, I can actually see him playing that position before Pacome Dadier does. That goes to show you how much work Pacome needs, how green Pacome is. It's so many different factors here. And the Knicks right now, they can make a number of different signings to this team. The roster is not completely set in stone. They can still convert a two-way player, which is likely what they're going to do, to a standard contract, and then give that two-way contract to another player, whoever they want to. They can give it to TJ Warren if they want to. They can give it to whoever they want to give that contract to in order potentially to prepare themselves for a trade they want to make come the deadline. If they do that, they can convert a two-way player at that time to a standard NBA deal and have that player on their roster. Imagine if they do that with TJ Warren. Potentially, they could do that. They could do it with a lot of different players, and I think that they will do that. It all depends on who is available and who even wants that type of contract, who even wants that type of deal. He might stay on the Exhibit 9 or 10 contract that he's on right now, which I don't think expires till January. So potentially, if the Knicks make a trade in December and they need more pieces and he's available on that Exhibit 10, they can convert him then to a standard contract and have him on the team. These are the moves the Knicks are making. Future moves here. They're thinking ahead of everybody else because they understand when they make that move, they're going to need additional pieces that have time put in this league to join the roster. Warren has that. The bubble absolutely showed everybody that. Maybe if he gets to a playoff again, he can do that again. The Knicks are banking on all of this. They're being very smart, but I still don't understand why they haven't given us a center yet. I understand every piece that we have and what we're doing, but don't we need a little bit more size at camp? Don't we need a little bit more players at camp that can push our bigs in Towns and Sims and Achua? I'm just saying, after Karl-Anthony Towns and Sims, your next tallest player is who? Achua at 6'8"? We need more size. Hopefully they do something about that in the next coming days. But as of right now, we already know Shamit and Campaign are going to be your backup point guards behind Jalen Brunson. Tyler Kolek will not be playing those minutes unless situations occur. That's all for that particular topic right now. And I was going to do the Ewing thing, but we already did that too. So I think that might be all the topics for today. It was going to be a short show because there are so many different topics coming out. I'm already creating a video on a different topic that I have to post later. So there's always different things coming out during these lives. So that's why moving forward, the lives may not be as long when it's a solo live like this, because there's only going to be a couple of topics before new topics come out, right? But when I have those guest interviews and those guest shows, mind you, by the way, we're going to be having a very special guest on this show very soon. Not going to break who that is, but that's going to be coming up very soon. When those shows happen, we're going to be utilizing as much time as we possibly can when we have them. So don't worry about that. And before we take the comments for today, and I try to get Tony here so we can do the giveaway, I want to mention watch-alongs are coming. Now, we're not going to do the first watch-along for this Sunday because, as I think I said before, during the week, my weekends, I want to try to keep as much as possible to my family and my son. So I'm not going to try to do any type of live streaming those days unless something urgent happens and it's an emergency stream where I have to do it. But normally, not going to happen those days. So that means the first live stream for us, for this channel that you're going to see, that you guys can be part of, is going to be on the playback.tv channel for the Knicks Recap this Wednesday, October 9th, I believe. And that's going to be against the Washington Wizards at 7:30 p.m. Give me 1 second here to pull that up for you guys. It's official, as you can see here. The Knicks Recap playback.tv channel is live. You can join today to have access to watch-alongs and other exclusive content. So please make sure you guys go into this video description. You go into the Knicks Playback link that's there. You click on that link, and then you're able to go to the main page. You join as a member. It's free. And then you can watch along the games with me there. Those streams, by the way, will be streamed across all platforms that I'm on, including X, including YouTube as well. But if you're in the room with me, as long as you have League Pass, you can watch those shows with me. Even better, this Wednesday, and I'm only doing it for this Wednesday, first come, first serve. If you don't have League Pass, if you don't have any way to watch this game, I'm going to share my League Pass with you guys on the playback.tv. It's going to be the first, I think, 15 people I'll do. And once you're there, I'll add you as a member for that stream. You'll be able to come up with me, chat with me about the show, and we'll be able to watch the stream together. I think I'm going to do it for the first 15 people. Maybe I'll make it 10 depending on who shows up. But if you don't have access, I'm going to be able to give you access only for that live stream. I'm going to do it as a benefit to each and every channel member that we have here as well. So that's something else you get, another perk as well for being a member of this channel. You get some access to the game if you don't have access to it yourself, either because of a blackout issue or whatever the reason may be. But happy to share that stuff with you as well. Now, without further ado, that has done it for the show. I think we've covered most of the things that you guys wanted to talk about today. Now let's go to the live chat. see what you guys have to say in terms of comments. And I'm going to be working with Tony right now, trying to get him involved to come aboard this the Knicks Recap live show right now so we can do the giveaway, because we have that to announce as well too. So let's get to the live chat. See what you guys have to say. We have one of the great, and I think one of our first channel members here, the real Django, who says, "Good afternoon, everyone. The real one is here. Acknowledge me." Shout out to you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a channel member for so long. It really does not go unnoticed. Let's go to some of the comments as I try to get Tony along here. Let me first text him to see if he's good, and then I'm going to get the stream up, but I'll go through it with you guys. Carl says, put Deuce in the starting lineup, and we'll have the best three-point shooting starting lineup in the league, and Hart can finish games. You know, I was thinking about that, guys. I honestly was thinking about that. I was thinking about what it would feel like if we had Deuce start and Josh Hart come off the bench, because I think with our bench right now, Josh Hart thrives there, and Deuce might have earned himself a starting position after everything he did last year. I understand that, but I think you might go with Hart because, I mean, when Hart was starting, he was a triple-double machine, and you can play him for as many minutes as possible. So he basically is his starter and his reserve himself. So you don't really even need to rest Josh Hart. I hope they do, but technically it's like you don't even need to. But that's a very good comment there. I appreciate that. Just texting my guy Tony here, see if he's okay. And I'm going to go into this mode really quickly because I have to shut this part down because I have to open up the stream I'm going to be on with Tony. So just give me a second to pull that up for you guys. One moment. Okay. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, there we go. That should be a little bit better. You might see a little bit of an issue with the screen there, just the bottom there, because I haven't really reformatted this particular screen for this one yet, but I'm on the Google stream right now, and I'm waiting for Tony so we can do the giveaway. He'll be on live with me, and we'll be talking together, so I'm going to get my headphones for that once he eventually does come. But for right now, let's see what other questions we have here. AP says, your live show are fire. This is my second season following your show. Hey, AP, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate those live comments, and I appreciate you enjoying the show. I mean, it's not really for everybody. Some people find it enjoyable. Some people want to see different things. I just like that people love rocking with me, love hearing my thoughts about the Knicks, watching me break down the content, and want to giving your own thoughts. It really means a lot. So thank you for subscribers like you for joining and always keeping me engaged, giving me good content and good comments like this. Kristen says, how you guys going to get Cat to play in the paint? Very good question, Christian. The thing with me is Tom Thibodeau, when he was under Thibs last time, that's all he would do. He would play in the paint anyway. So it's not like we were expecting anything with Thibs last time he was in Minnesota. Tom Thibodeau demanded that of Cat. I think he's still going to run some plays for Cat to play inside because he knows how dominant Cat can be playing inside. I think we all can admit he settled a lot for those three-point shots with Minnesota. Way too many, in my opinion. He's a really good paint player, but I don't know if he believes he's a really good paint player because he doesn't really show it to us, does he? He doesn't really showcase his skill set all the time as he can do while he's there. He's pretty dominant. He can be when he wants to be. He can shoot over a lot of people as well, too, if they're trying to front him inside. So I think I'm not worried so much about him inside the paint on offense. The worry comes from me when he's on defense because I don't know where Tom Thibodeau is going to utilize him in that defense. If he switches with Preston Achiuwa and him out there, I'm more okay with that, actually, because I think that works. And if you have Sims sometimes out there with him, not the greatest because Sims right now is still a project to me. I need to see what he can do. I heard he's working on a hook shot. If he's developed enough and he's a leap above where he was before, I have no problem with Jericho Sims and him taking that position for the starter with Karl-Anthony Towns, but it's going to be something he has to prove during training camp. And I think that's important. I'm still waiting for my brother to see if he's good here. Oh, my goodness. I think Tony may have misunderstood me. My brother, I think he's at... One second. One second, guys. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication between me and Tony there, so I apologize about that. But I'm just texting him right now, trying to see if we can get this giveaway going. If not, it's okay. If I have to do it without him, we'll just do it without him as well, too. We're just trying to make sure he's there. I appreciate your comments, though, AP. Kristen says, how you got... Well, I already commented on the cat part there. Let's keep going up and see what other comments that we have here. Let's see here. E. Gibson says, TJ Warren was a killer in the bubble, but has been injury prone and hasn't done much since. Hope he steps up. That would be nice. So let's see. He said he sent the request here, but I haven't seen it. Yeah. Let's see. So with TJ Warren, guys, I think with TJ Warren, I don't think that even when he does make the team, he is a little bit injury prone. I get you that. But I think his veteran status might be the reason he makes the team over some of these other players, like potentially Chuma Okeke, who I do like, and I would like him on the team as somebody that we can add because he's a little bit younger. But, you know, it's Chuma Okeke versus TJ Warren. I'm not saying one is very much better than the other. I would go with youth. I don't care if Warren makes it. Yeah, he's a little bit injury prone in his time, but he's coming off the bench and he's likely not going to play a significant role. I wouldn't mind those minutes too much. So if you guys have any other questions, make sure you're leaving it in the comments right there below. I'm just trying to meet up with my guy Tony here to see if he can join the chat. Oh, there he is. I see it now. There we go, Tony. I see you, my brother. Finally, my brother. Give me 1 second, bro. Let me get you on
Yo, what up?
So everybody can see you. There we go. All right. My guy Tony in the building. Where'd it go, Tony? How it feeling, brother? How you doing?
Just got to MSG.
Look at you, my brother. Look at you. Happy birthday, my brother. Happiest birthday to you.
Thank you. What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. First of all, everybody's looking at you. They're seeing you. They love you on the live right now. They're happy to have you here. Happy for everything that we're doing today with regards to the giveaway. But before we get to the giveaway, man, I just want to ask you a question before we do that. So if you can tell me, why did you want to give away the jacket? What made you feel the need to want to do that?
The thing is, I buy a lot of Knicks stuff, and sometimes I just give it away. So why not give it to one of your fans? Say Knicks fans, we gotta stick together, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's chilly out here, so we got to get people right,
Hey, my brother Tony, man, listen, I appreciate that, my guy. I'm so happy to have you on. And I know we have a lot of people in the chat right now. I want to go straight to the giveaway right now. I just want to go ahead and do it, announce it.
I got to go. Yeah, I got to go with the girl, so we're going to go do some things.
I got you. So we're going to do it right now, real quick. So right now, for the giveaway announcement, shout out to my guy, Chester Swanson Sr. He has won the New York Knicks jacket given away by my guy here, Tony. Shout out to my guy, again, Chester Swanson Sr. He joined as a member 8 days ago. Again, it's all at random. No matter when you join, whether you're first, last, whenever. When I look at the first day and I do it randomly, you're going to win. So, Chester, we're going to make sure we get you that jacket very soon. I'm going to give your information to Tony. If you're in the chat or you see the playback, make sure you leave a comment with your information. I will see it. I'll contact you and we'll get you your gear. But Tony, I know you have to go. If you have a question for me, because I want to make sure I give you, it's your birthday, bro. I have to give you something. You have a question for me that I can answer for you to say thank you?
What I want to say, I want to say is,
please
salute to the chat, man. People need to support you, man. You're doing great things for our team, man. You know what I'm saying? We got some more stuff that we have down the pipeline to give out to people. So if you ain't join, you know what I'm saying? Let's support. The better we join, the more people we get in, you know what I'm saying? The better the gift's going to be, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And for Chester, salute Chester for winning, man. You deserve it, brother. You deserve everything. And I got something else I'm going to throw in there a little special for you, brother.
Oh,
so
look at that.
Happens. You join us, you might get a little extra too on the gift. So don't not join, man. It's cheap. It supports the culture. It supports my boy. He can make better videos. He's dropping videos constantly. He's doing what he's supposed to do, man. We give out, man. We might give out gift cards. You never know. If you join, we might give out gift cards. We might throw $100 gift card in the mix. Go to the Knicks and buy some stuff at the Knicks over here at the Garden,
There you go. Exactly. Tony said it exactly right. As you join as a member here, you build a community, but also the gifts get better. Not only from the gifts that thankfully Tony is so nice to give to everybody, but also gifts that I want to give as well too. We're talking about the Knicks giveaway in January, where tickets will be up for grabs, and we're going to give away tickets to the community. There's so many things to do with this giveaway. Tony, I know you have to go. I just want to say again, thank you so much for everything you do for this community. I'm glad that you're part of my community with the Knicks Recap, and you're definitely a moderator in this chat moving forward, guaranteed. I'm going to make sure that happens after the show, brother.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And one thing I got for y'all, right?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna get some preseason tickets we might be able to give out. You know what I'm saying? So people just join. If you join, we might got some preseason. You know, I came over here to pick up some stuff. We're gonna do some stuff. So let's get this rocking. You know what I'm saying? Let's support our team, man. We're a championship team right now. So let's go, man. Hope to see some of you at the games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're definitely gonna see me from time to time at the Garden. I'm gonna let you know when. I'm gonna let you know when I'll be around this. We'll link up.
Definitely, we're gonna get some VIP treatment when we come and watch the game, brother.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. But let me not keep you. It's your birthday. You're with your lady. I want to make sure you have a good time. So listen, thank you so much for being part of the chat, part of the stream. Everybody love to see you on the show. I'll contact you later with the information about the guy who won, and we'll move from there, bro.
And I got something special for Chester. Salute again, Chester, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for supporting my boy. And don't be strangers, people. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't support, subscribe, hit the like, share the live. You know what I'm saying? Let's support, man. It's all love. We all one, man. We Knicks, baby.
All day, all day. Appreciate you, my guy, Tony. Thank you, my brother.
See y'all later.
See you, brother. See you. Thank you. All right. Well, that's my guy over there. As you guys saw there, my guy, Tony. And yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I am excited to have Tony in the building. I'm excited to speak with him about all the things that we were speaking about. And give me a second. I'm trying to get my bearings here. Oh, goodness. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the chat. There we go. My goodness, that took me a while. But my goodness, man, thank you guys so much for everything that you guys were telling me today, and all the great content as well too. Like I said before, man, you guys, without you guys, with all the things you guys do for me and this channel, we wouldn't be able to do all the things that we're able to do. We wouldn't be able to give you the content we're able to give you. We wouldn't be able to give you all the things that we're able to do on a daily basis without you giving your hard-earned support, obviously joining as a member as well too. I know those things are not easy, but I really do appreciate that. The love, the support, the respect that you guys show me, the videos that are dropped and everything like that, it means the absolute world to me. And your commitment to me gives me motivation to continue doing this each and every single time. So I just want to mention again, if you guys want to watch the watch-alongs with me, you guys have all the access to do that. All you have to do is just directly go to the Knicks Playback Recap channel. All you have to do that is go straight directly to the link in the description. When you go to the link in the description, you'll see the playback.tv channel for the Knicks Recap there. You click on that, and after you do that, you'll be able to join the channel as a member free, and you'll be able to watch the games with me live. So you want to watch games with me? You want to see my reaction? You don't think I'm this way when I watch the games? I promise you, and I'm sorry for anybody who's going to watch the games with me, I'm so much worse. I am so much worse. My hype goes out of bounds, off the charts, off the roof when the Knicks are playing. And when we're dominating, I don't really even know what to say, honestly, to be quite honest, my guy. But let's see here. Christian says, throw a joint in the pocket. Go Wolves. Oh my goodness. Tell me we don't have a Wolves fan here. Well, I'm glad at least you came to the stream to support the Knicks and the channel. But I mean, come on now, man. Minnesota. I'm not talking about Minnesota right now. I'm not even going to talk about what Minnesota has to give to us right now. What I want to do is say Karl-Anthony Towns is a Knick. We have Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, and that pick and roll is going to be deadly. So I don't really care about anything else that you got to say. I'm not worried about the Timberwolves. I'm not worried about any team besides my team and what we're about to do. The Real Django says, yeah, thank you, T-Wolves, for giving us Cat. Banks says, where's that Nets fan? I don't know where that Nets fan is. I haven't seen him in a very, very long time. I'm a little worried. You know, I'm a little concerned. But it's Knicks all day, every day. It's orange and blue skies all day, every day. And I'm worried about my community. I'm worried about the Knicks. I'm worried about us. So I don't really have time to worry about other fan bases. I hope he's okay, but, you know, it's Knicks all day, every day, and that's all it is. Knicks 100 GM says, fully send them sketches up out of here. You know what, Knicks 100 GM? I'm not going to say anything to you. I'm just going to say Karl-Anthony Towns is a Knick. We're moving forward here. and we're all good. We're trying to win championships. We want championships. We want those chips. We want a chip in New York, and we can break it. Year one of that championship run starts this year. Very close, guys. We're close. We have the roster to do it. Everything has to come together. We're still adding pieces, but don't get it wrong. The Knicks are here. We're serious. We're going to make moves, and we're going to get that chip. And even if it doesn't happen in year one, we have a window for a reason, don't we? In that window, we're winning a chip. I don't care what anybody has to say. Our roster is too good. We're going to continue to make it better, and we're going to continue to add pieces that make us better. Wait and see. Let's see here. 718 says, watching Wolves games to see Dante DiVincenzo, who will want out at the deadline. Man, 718 is trying to cook these Wolves fans. And listen, I'm not going to stop him from doing it. If he wants to praise our team and to say how much the Knicks are by getting at other franchises, I don't mind that right now. For me right now, how I feel as a New Yorker, as a fan of this team, I want all the smoke. Anybody can get it. It's on site this year. The Knicks are the team to beat. We are no longer a laughing stock. You're not laughing at me. You're not laughing at anybody else. If anything, you are worried. You are concerned. You are looking at the season, circling the Knick game and saying, that's the game I have to worry about. I am scared. I am worried they're going to dominate me. It's okay. I understand. It's been a couple years, but we're back. We're back now. Knicks basketball is back now. You can fear the Garden again. You can fear this team again. And you can fear what we're about to do to every team in the league. You can take solace in the fact that you won't be alone. You won't be alone. There'll be a support group for teams that the Knicks have destroyed over the course of next season. I promise you. And you guys can get together. You can talk about the Knicks. You can talk about all the moves we made. You can talk about all the things that we did that were so unfair. And we took advantage of all these loopholes and yada, yada, yada. I don't care. It's our time. This is our time to win a championship. Y'all had your chances. You had my entire lifetime to win chips. It's our time now. We have the roster, we have the talent, and everybody has bought in. That's the secret sauce. That's the secret sauce. Buying in. Everybody understands now. The roster the Knicks have right now that we've created is going to win us that championship. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time for me. I believe in this team. I believe in this roster. And I believe we are going to go further than anybody ever thought possible. I hope a lot of people are against us, are saying we can't do it, are saying that we're bogus, we're fake. I want that. Give me all that negativity. I want it all. Because when we beat all those narratives, we're one of the best teams in the league and we've destroyed your favorite team. What are you going to say then? What are you going to say now? Nothing. Nothing to say. Besides, I'm sorry, Mr. Rose. I'm sorry, Mr. Brunson. I'm sorry, Mr. Cat. I shouldn't have talked all that BS. I was wrong. But at that point, it's going to be too late. The train will already left, and we left you behind. It's all right, though. Knicks all day, every day, 24/7. Our time is now. Shout out to Leon, and shout out to everybody else that helped us get us to this point. Now it's time for us to go out there with this roster and maximize this opportunity. And best believe, we're going to do that. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please go ahead and smash that like button. Leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace. And don't forget, Knicks basketball is back this Sunday at 5, and we are going to watch the Knicks do what they're going to do all season long. Cook the competition. Cook them with Brunson. Cook them with Cat, cook them with our bench. That's all we're going to do all season long. Cook each and every single team. I'll see you on Sunday, and I can't wait for this Knicks team to go off. Peace and love, guys.